Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we've come to know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew, but other people know it's a Leffy or a leaf blower. Well, this one's on the southwest spawn of Arctic region, which is also known as Mannheim Line. Lots of things with different names. And this one's under the command of ProvoBob. As you can see on the side of his vehicle, he's got a kangaroo because ProvoBob is on the Australian-New Zealand server. And well, that means that there's normally lots of bots at certain times of night because they can't find enough players. Wargaming doesn't want to give up on the players that are there, so they give them some bots to play with. Some of these bots are actually quite deadly. Not all of them though. Okay, he's just getting himself set up. He's got a nice set of bushes here to work with. He's got a 105mm light field howitzer, and I'm just pulling back so that we can actually get to see what he's aiming at. I think that wasn't ProvoBob's doing. I think that was me because I changed the settings earlier. Well, he fires a blind shot in on the area that we know as the mouse, because it's shaped like a mouse, and that lookout area, and the one on this side looks like a duck. Okay, there was a T67 over that side, and there's now a T34. Now this is the first of 3 replays featuring the 105 leFH18B2, and the reason why we're featuring this Arty at the moment is it's on sale in the EU region. 2 of those were snapshots really. Basically there wasn't a target to aim at. He's now aiming at the OI experimental, but that guy's on the move. He stops, and then oh, that was so close to being a hit. A lot of action going on around here. Fires around the T67. Landed right next door to him. These shells do 410 alpha, and they will penetrate through 53mm of armour. They've got a burst radius of 1.91 meters. Now he does have heat rounds as well. Nope, that's on the move, so obviously not going to hit that. Try and dial in on T34. Looks good. Just misses him because he moves forward at the right moment to avoid the shell. Trying to get it dialed in. You've got to predict where the enemy's going to go. You don't expect an enemy tank to drive up a wall, but he does get a hit this time. 147 hit points. He's getting his eye in on the enemy. That's better. Now, as I said, there are some bots in the game, and it's easy to identify the bots because they've got a colon before their name and after it on the name list. Oh, that Covenanter just died. That was a real player, that one. I think he's just gone back to the garage. He's a bit annoyed. Both of these OI experimentals are bots. The T67 you're seeing there, that's a bot as well. And you see, even after he's been hit, he's still aiming elsewhere. Rounds out. Nice hit. 97. Finish off that T67. Dial it in. Let it settle before you shoot. Nice. Good kill. Clean kill. Lining it up. Working out where the OI's going. We'll lead the target. Beautiful hit. Penetrating shot right through the side. 435, which is a high roll. Can he finish this guy off? Well, not quite. Only 24 from that because he hit some hard armour. But if he can get one shot in now, that guy's a goner. And he's got another kill. Going for the OI experimental again. Good hit. Potential high caliber. He's got 20% of the enemy hit pool now. I say potential high caliber. There's always the possibility that some other member of his team is going to score more damage because they could get 20% as well. So whenever you see that symbol pop up, or if you see at the top of the screen there's a little high caliber symbol with a tick next to it, that indicates you've got 20% of the enemy hit pool, but you don't necessarily have the high caliber yet because you've just got to keep earning more and more damage to try and stop your teammates from getting the award instead of you. It's a competitive thing. Well, the whole game is competitive. It's all about the individual. Sometimes it works on the basis that you're part of a team trying to win that way. But most of the time it's just one individual against 29 other players. I don't think it's 29 in this game. I think it's a reduced numbers game. If I remember correctly, I think there's only 12 on each side in this one. No, just slightly to one side. Nice! The one good thing about the VP is you do get plenty of ammo now. They actually increased the ammo count to 50 rounds. It used to be a lot less. It used to be 42 rounds. And he gets the kill with that one. Now, can he finish off this bot? That Matilda Black Prince, by the way, that was a real player. This is a bot, so he possibly could get this one. Another good hit. Now he's got the side of this OI. If he can get around in through the side, that's a direct hit. Where we've lost sight of the target because there's nobody spotting him at the moment. Now we've got a T150 down to the south, but that is a bot, and whether or not he'll poke his head up to have a look, I don't know. I doubt if he will. And so we're going to have to wait until the T67, which is a lot closer, spots him for us. Meanwhile, up in the north, we've got a T1 Heavy. And that's a bot as well, I'm afraid. Blind shot. No, he's not there. Oh, don't waste too much ammo. You haven't got that much left. Oh, he did hit him this time. There was no explosion, and that hit something. Oh no, let it dial in before you shoot. Let it dial in. Ah, he's moved. Don't keep wasting ammunition. You haven't got much left. You've only got... That's it. Now you've got 15 rounds left out of your 50. I said you get a lot of ammunition with this Arty, but not if you do this. This is wasteful. Now he's left himself short with enemies still in the vicinity. Okay, he could kill that OI experimental, but he needs to let it dial in before he shoots. Bit more, that's it. That'll do it. Kill shots. Okay, there's still a T34 and a T67 down in the south. And both, the T67's a bot, but the T34 is not. There goes the T1 Heavy. Taken out by the Churchills. Both the Churchills are bots, by the way. Okay, there's that T34. That's a real player, that one. There he is. He's been hiding around there because obviously he saw what was going on. Nearly, but not quite. And now he's down to 11 rounds. He needs to be more careful not to waste ammunition. Oh, he got the blind kill on the T34. And that's his top gun. So you need to be careful with your ammunition when it runs low. You can't afford to fire blind shots, but he did get a kill there. He did work out where the guy was. As far as we know now, there's only 2 enemies remaining. They're Arty and the T67. Now the T67 was last seen in Grid Square H9. And he might still be there because it's a bot. As for the VP, well, I'm afraid that is a live player, and he's a very good player as well. He's got a win rate of 53%, and he's got 1 kill already. Now, he may not be up to ProvoBob's standard, but he is a blue player, so it kind of indicates that he might be. When I say blue player, I mean obviously he's got a win 8 rating, which does show up on these screens, or is it that he's a blue player because he's killed one of his own team? I think it's actually the other way around. I think he has actually team killed. That's why he's blue, and I had it wrong. Also, the Panzer III-4 in our team is also blue, so it suggests that he is also a team killer. There I was thinking that he was blue because he was good, but he might actually be a team killer. And let's have a look at this. The T67. No, that was a snapshot. You say, I always say, do not fire snap because you will miss 9 times out of 10 and you'll waste ammo doing it. He's now down to just 3 rounds of HE. And there's the last remaining live player on the enemy team. It's the Fifi, and he's fighting out against the Panzer III-4, who's a team killer. Oh, he rams him to death. Medium tank meets heavy tank Arty and rams him to death. And there's the first victory in this trio. Let's have a look at the second game. And the second game is on the south spawn of Cliff. And we're waiting for the battle to start. Well, just like the last game, there's a whole load of bots. In fact, in the last game, there was 5 real players on the game, but there was 12 players altogether if you include the bots, so 7 bots. I'm afraid it's exactly the same in this game, except, of course, yep, there's 12 players overall, and 7 of those are bots. Exactly the same. Well, ProvoBob's gone to this position, which is a fairly good position to shoot from, but it is fairly well known to most players. He's now aiming towards that spot on the other side of the map in the sniping position, and he's having to actually move forward in order to get his gun to bear, and he's doing that whilst he's not looking where he's going, which is actually quite dangerous. But he's going to try and fire a few rounds into that spot, see if he can catch one of the enemy tank destroyers napping. Nope, nothing on that one. Can he get a shot on that 14 TP suddenly appeared? The guys just decided to stop in the Western Pass, and that was a bit of a snapshot, and as a consequence it missed the target. But I suspect the target's still there even though we can't see him. There's the target we certainly can see. It's a Panzer-1AR-M. Rounds out. Landed just in front of him. Okay, a number of enemy tanks have been spotted up higher. We've got a Char B1 making his way over to the cliff edge. Rounds out. Looks good. Close, but no cigar. No moniker. Okay, we're going for the Kehoe. Stay where you are. Let him dial in. Almost there. Rounds out now. Oh, so close. It landed the other side of him. RNG said no. Fire another round in and he pulls back. I'm afraid that was a no-no. He's chasing this guy. Let's pull back a bit further so we can actually see what he's doing, because he was just looking too close to the target. And he's firing so far away, he's not giving enough lead on the target to hit it. Okay, we've got a duck. Can we have a crispy duck? No, because he fired snap again. Didn't allow it to dial in. You've got to let it dial in. That's better. And you see, you get a hit. If you let it dial in, you get a hit. If you don't, you waste the shell. Okay, we've got a looks. Nope. There are targets here that he could hit, but he's just not letting the gun dial in on the target before he shoots. That's better. He did lead the target as well a little bit, which enabled him to get the shot on target. Again, he selects a different spot and the Char B1 drives through but doesn't get hit. Now that looked very close to hitting that target. Now the Panzer-1AR-M has moved forward. That's the new premium tank destroyer that they gave us at Christmas. Oh, one shot! That went straight through his arm and blew him up. Didn't have a chance of surviving. Now that he can destroy that 14 TP, but he's got to let it dial in before he shoots. Let it dial in, let it settle. Now, that's better! See, it does work. You just need to let it dial in, then it works. If a target moves away whilst you're dialing in, you can either adjust and then let it settle again, or you can find a new target to shoot at, that child B1 pulled back. It is just basic Arty gameplay. You need to learn how to dial in on a target, how to aim. That's a direct hit. These are things that ProvoBob does know. It's just he's tempted to shoot too early sometimes, and as a consequence he misses the target. Just in front of the guy. He did damage the tracks, but that's all he got. Okay, he's going to go for the DW2. Der Brukswagen. You see it destroying the fences as he was going through those stone walls. Okay. The keyhole we're looking at the moment is a bot. It was on target for where the keyhole was, but the keyhole changed position. Now, fires again, too early at the DW2, misses the target. He's almost burned up half his ammunition. That keyhole's going straight for the cliff edge. Rounds out. This could kill, and it does. You can tell sometimes when an enemy has made a dreadful mistake and they try to pivot on the spot. That bot made a horrendous error. Okay, we're now looking at the crispy duck, hopefully. Yep. Very difficult to get shots on the other side of the donut when that temple's in the way. You can see how far ahead of those bushes he actually moved forward. The danger of actually moving forward when you're not looking at where you're going is that you might drive over a rock, which then flips you up and over on your side. I've had that happen to me a few times. It's very embarrassing. Okay, let it dial in on the B1. Still got a few seconds to go. That's it. Direct hit. He definitely hit him there. No, you can see he's moved because there was damage to the fences just to the slightly beneath that position. He's now looking up to see if there's any movement up in the sniper's nest. There is an enemy Arty, and the enemy Arty is a real player. Okay, the DW2 and the... I don't know why he's firing over here at the moment. You're wasting shells. You haven't got a whole lot left. Dear, don't waste ammunition. There are two tank destroyers in the game. One's a Panzer Selbstfallerfetter 4C, which is the Death Toaster, and the other one is an Su-76M, but he doesn't know where they are. Okay, let it settle before you shoot. That's better. That's it. Yeah, he got a hit there. You see, even though he moved, he got a hit. Now, can he get a hit and kill this B1? He's got 3 kills. Can he make it 4? Now, let it dial in before you shoot. That's a bot moving about there. The bot stopped to take shots. Can you get another shot in? Better! And that means now he has got 4 kills, and there is where the Su-76M was. He wasn't behind the rock at all. He was actually a little further forward. Now, I actually favour that position because there's a tree there as well in the way, which means it's very difficult for you to be spotted from some directions. The M10 RBFM on our team is firing from on top of the hill. But you see, he couldn't see him because of the position he's in. Now he's only down to 10 rounds of ammunition now. I think ProvoBob suddenly realised he is kind of short. There's still 3 enemies out there and he's only got 9 rounds left. Don't waste ammunition unless you've got a clear target. 4 or 5 of those rounds are heat rounds. That means you have to get a direct hit on the target for it to work. And now he can't shoot because if he does shoot, he might run out of ammo. He's having a quick look to see if he can locate the enemy Arty. I should think he's probably regretting all those shots, those blind shots he fired at the sniper's nest, which have now turned out to be wasted. Because if there is an enemy Arty, he needs those rounds in order to pin the guy down. The enemy Arty is an M41HMC. It's a small Arty, but it's very powerful because it's got a 155mm howitzer, not the 105mm you get on the Fifi. And he's capable of doing 550 alpha. And he's got a fairly meaty burst radius as well. So if he manages to get a shell near ProvoBob, he might actually be able to damage him, very badly damage him. And there he is, he's actually up on the heights. This looks like an accurate shot, and it is. He gets the kill, and that's 5 kills now. He's 1 short of getting a Top Gun. He's also short by 102 hit points from getting a high caliber. How do I know that? Well, I've got a mod up on the top of the screen. You might see it up there, where it actually says a little high caliber symbol and 102. And that tells you how many hit points he's short of getting 20% of the enemy hit pool. We're looking for the last enemy, which is that Death Toaster. And again, he's wasting ammunition. He doesn't know if the enemy is there. He's guessing. He's now only got 2 rounds of HE and 5 rounds of heat. And although the heat rounds will go straight through an enemy target if they hit, if they penetrate. But I'm afraid wasting all this ammo like this. There you go, he's down to the heat rounds now, and they're expensive rounds as well. Totally wasteful if he fires these ones, because he's no hope of hitting the target unless he gets a direct hit. And we've just lost the Valiant, and he was in the A row, so I suspect that the Dev Toaster is somewhere further up. In fact, actually, he says that the enemy is no point in firing. That was a very expensive shot. They cost about 4,000 credits each, I think. And he's wasting them. Now, the M10 up on the cliff is a real player, but he's wasting all this ammo. He can't even see the enemy. He's got 2 rounds left now. 2 rounds. If that enemy Death Toaster managed to get close to him, then he's going to be toast, not the Death Toaster. This is a lesson in what not to do with your ammo. You should never ever burn through the ammo like this. Never fire blind the way he did. He did get a blind kill in his last game, but it was a total waste of ammo that he kept blasting away. Now he's got 1 round left. Just 1 round. If he fires that round at the enemy Death Toaster and it fails to kill him with the first shot, even if it fails, if it misses him, then he will be dead. He won't be able to stop the Death Toaster from killing him. He's relying on the M10 RBFM now, and he may not be a very good player. He doesn't have a very good win rate. His win rate is 46%. ProvoBob's win rate is 50%, but it kind of suggests that he's not a good player. And we now know where he is. Don't fire until you've got it fully dialed in. Rounds out. Thank goodness for that. With his last round of ammunition, he takes out the enemy Death Toaster and gets the Top Gun. And I think he also got another medal, but we'll talk about that when we get to see the end of battle results. Now let's have a look at the third replay. The third replay is on Sand River, and we're just waiting for the battle to start. Game on! Well, it was a very narrow victory really, because he ran out of shells with his last shot, taking out the last enemy on the cliff map. On this one, Sand River, Let's hope he uses his ammo a little more wisely. Okay, he's ready to go. Now there's 7 real players in this game, and it appears on first face that we have 14 players in the game. So 14 players in the game, 7 real ones. Now I've just adjusted the screen a little because it's showing a bit too close to the target for us to see exactly what's going on. That M8A1 there, that's a live... Oh, is it a bot? It's a bot, sorry. It's got semicolons in front of and after the name, that's a bot. Oh, and a one-shot kill there. Okay, where's he going next? Okay, KV1. Got an M5 Stuart, a VK3001H up in the dunes. Unfortunately, the BT7 was a little silly. He just sat on the dune and let himself get killed, but it was a bot. I'd go for the VK, he's less likely to move. Trying to hit that M5 is going to be difficult. He's moving about all over the place, manoeuvring as he's going. That's a live player. The VK is also a live player, but he's less likely to move because he's a medium tank. Quite a heavy medium tank at that. 30-ton tank, that one. Oh, no, that's not going to help. Landed behind him. He's already burned through 8 rounds already with only 1 kill to show for it. Okay, let it settle before you shoot. Don't shoot until it's fully settled. Shell went long. That was RNG. That's better. Good hit. 91 hit points. That KV1 is getting a hammering. Another hit. Even though he pulled back, RNG made the shell go long and it hit the target. We've got 2 tanks that we can hit, but they're both bots. Oh, beautiful shot there. That's a penetrating round through the side of the B1. He fired blind there at the T95, or Type 95. Can't see him. No, don't blind fire because you'll waste ammo. There you go. There he is. Wait for him to be spotted. Dial in. Should be able to take this guy out with 1 round. Didn't get it. Oh, and you can't take that with 1 round. What am I saying? Because of course he's more than the hit points of the round, the alpha damage. But he can get him now. And he does. Okay, it's a T28 over there. Fairly weak armor on the T28s. Makes them very susceptible to Arty rounds. But he's moving now, so he's going to be difficult to hit. No, that's a wasted round. You've got to stop firing snap so much, ProvoBob. You fire way too much on snap, and you also fire too many rounds blind when really you've got no proof that the enemy's there. That's better. Much better. RNG made the shell go long, but you can still get a hit with the next round. Lead the target a little. That's it. Perfect. Okay, hit the V. Oh, we've lost sight of them. No, that's a wasted one. Okay, you've got 29 rounds left. You've got to slow down your fire rate because you are burning through the ammo way too quickly. Now the rescue drifting towards the riverbed shows that wargaming system where they tries to indicate where the nearest target is working. Again, that was fired snap. It wasn't fully dialed in on the target before he let loose. No, you're not. It's really difficult because I can see where ProvoBob's making all the mistakes, and because he's not here watching, But he will be watching this video. He gets the kill and he gets 20% of the enemy hit pool. But he's really got to take these ideas on board about letting the thing dial in before he shoots, because it ensures you get a more accurate shot. There's an enemy Arty up near the cap area. That should waste his shell. There's an enemy Arty up near the cap area, and he's going to be stationary while he shoots. And there's the Kehoe. That's his 5th kill. And one of the enemies now capping, and he's within visual range. Hello, goodbye. Now he needs to move because the enemy RT might decide to lob around in this direction. Besides, there are enemy tanks on the way in. That VK, yes, the VK that he fired at earlier, a live player, decided to get his own back. He fired one in this direction. Now, can he get around in to kill that guy? He knows where it is. Just needs to let it settle on target before he shoots. No, it missed. I go for the enemy gorilla at the other end of the map. Yeah, these are targets you know you can hit and you know you can take out. Just got to let them settle. If you can get the... You've got the top gun. Just need to get these enemies and you might be able to get a... Oh, nice hit. You might be able to get a Radley's. Rounds out. That was right next door to the gorilla. I would have stayed on the gorilla because he's not going to move very far. But he wants to go for this M18-1. And that was a miss. He's running short on ammo again. Rounds out. Long flight time for the shell. And he gets it. 7 kills now. There's only 4 enemies left. There's only 2 on his team. The BDR-G1B just killed the VK. We've got nobody spotting the T28 and the gorilla at the other end of the map. And there's a T67 out there somewhere, and that's a real player, but he's got an absolutely dreadful win rate. I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, why do you keep harking on about win rate? Well, the thing is that win rate is a very good indication of how good the player is. If they keep getting very poor win rates, it's very likely that they're contributing to the loss instead of actually helping the team win. If somebody's got a lower win rate than 48%, they're probably actually a bit of a drawback on their team. And the only way to actually correct your win rate is to actually join a clan who can actually help you by teaching you how to play and to get more wins. Most people who have poor win rates are actually playing the wrong tanks. They keep playing the tanks where they're not that good. And there's the T67. He's up near our cap area. He's going through the riverbed. The BDR's going to go back and deal with the T67. ProvoBob's going to go forward and see if he can get to the enemy cap and start capping. Oh, decided to turn and shoot at the T67. If he's in the riverbed, you're not going to be able to hit him, because if he's down there, the BDR's going to have to find him first. The enemy T28 is a real player as well. He's got 4 kills, so he's a reasonably good player. The gorilla has, well, he's got 1 kill, but his win rate is only 37%, which is even worse than T67. Again, it's another player that needs to get some tuition so they can learn how to get better results. There's the T28. That's the dangerous one, because he does have enough kills under his belt to indicate that he knows what he's doing. So ProvoBob needs to be careful with his rounds. Oh, he made that one count. That one hit the target. And the enemy T67 was in the village, and he's firing at the BDR. I'm not sure ProvoBob can get around into that T67 though, because of the dune in front of him. Let's see if he can do that. I think he's having difficulty trying to get a solution. That's better. No. fact, all 3 enemies are now up here. Narrowly missed the T28, the BDR. Oh, kills the T28. Now, can we get that T67? He's pulling back. Oh, the BDR's suffering. He's got the 90mm gun, I can see that. Oh, yes! Ammo rack! And he's the top. That's his Radleys. Now, the last remaining enemy is the gorilla, and he was last seen on the cliff edge. I think he was a little further back. There he is. Kill shot! 9 kills for ProvoBob. He's getting better. He is getting better at it. Much, much better. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats for all 3 games. Here's the end of battle stats for the first game on Arctic region, and that game was a first class tanker for ProvoBob in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 15, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he also got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills, he got 6 exactly. His win rate from that game was 9,755, so a very good game, high super unicum. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there was only 5 real players on each team in this game. You can see that he did get the highest damage with 2,631 hit points. The second highest was the Panzer III-4, who got 2,120. He was the guy who did that ram kill on the enemy Fifi right at the end of the game. And the third highest damage was that enemy Fifi. Yes, I'm afraid that was a real player. He got ram killed. 692 hit points of damage was the next high scorer. When it came to kills, ProvoBob had the highest number of those with 6 kills. 2 kills went to the Panzer III-4, and the next highest was only 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob. Yes, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,116 to him. 1,008 goes to the Panzer III-4. 612 goes to the T67. He fired 43 rounds in that game, so he only had 7 rounds left at the end of the game. 20 direct hits, 3 penetrations and 24 splash. Damage of 2,631 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 6 and did 103 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 55,323 credits, and after ammunition resupply, took away 49,819 credits. He received 1,674 XP, got ×2 for the first victory, and 670 because this is a premium vehicle, and took away 4,018 experience points altogether. So a pretty good game, but as you saw, he did waste a lot of ammo, not letting the thing dial in before he shot. He was up against bots, and they are kind of unpredictable on some occasions, but he did get a good result at the end of it. And even though he fired a blind shot, which I was counselling against, he actually did get a kill out of it, the T-34. So well done on that. You proved me wrong, but most of the time you're actually getting it wrong yourself by actually firing these rounds and wasting them. Let's have a look at the second game. That was the one where he did waste all his ammunition except the last shot. And in that one, he got a second-class tanker in the Fifi. He also got a bruiser medal again for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17 in this one. He got an epic medal. He got a Fadens medal. He used up all of his ammunition in the last shot. He killed the last enemy vehicle. And he also got a top gun for getting 6 kills. That Death Toaster was the 6th kill in the game. His win rate from that one slightly less, 4,612. Well, nothing to do with the actual shots. I think, well, it's more to do with the fact that he didn't actually do as much damage as he did in the last one. If you can see here, he only did 1,584 hit points of damage rather than over 2,000 like in the last one, and that's why he only got a second class. The next high scorer was in actual fact, or in fact the guy who actually did get the high caliber was that Death Toaster. He managed to get the high caliber for 2,638 hit points of damage, and the next high score after that was the M10RBFM on his own team with 1,068. When it came to kills, it was ProvoBob who got the top with 6. 5 kills went to the Death Toaster, 2 kills to the M10 and the Valiant. And when it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob with 834. 716 went to the Valiant, 728 went to the M10 RBFM. The best player on the enemy team, yes, he got 580. So he did very well because he beat most, well, all but 2 on the enemy team, on the real players, that is. So he did perform well and did get a nice amount of damage, but in the end, he was taken out. I was very lucky for ProvoBob that shell did not suffer from RNG, because if it had suffered from RNG and it gone wild and gone long or gone short, he would have been left with a very embarrassing situation where he was relying on his M10 RBFM teammate to take out that Dev Toaster, and that might not have happened because the Dev Toaster's actually got an 88mm gun. It's actually quite meaty, it can do a lot of damage. There's T67 that's only got a 76mm gun, so it doesn't do quite as much. Anyway, he did get a good result, so let's have a look at detail. All 50 rounds fired, 13 direct hits, 3 penetrations, 17 splash. Damage of 1,584 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 6, and did 98 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 38,216 credits, and after ammunition respawn, you can see his ammo cost is a lot higher because he fired 5 premium rounds, and they are expensive. He ended up with 12,456 credits profit, 25 bonds for completing a mission, and 1,251 XP, 500 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 1,751 experience points altogether. Did I say experience points? I think I did. Anyway, let's have a look at the results. Yeah, it was interesting that he got that last kill, but as I say, if he had suffered from RNG on the last shot, then I think he would have been unlucky. As Klaus Kellerman says, I think the dollars per minute algorithm kicked in and Wargaming wanted to end the game, and therefore they let the shell go straight to the aim point. Plus, of course, he did let the aim dial in fully before he let loose, and that helped a lot to hitting the target. Let's have a look at the third and last game, because that was the one where he managed to get at least 8 kills. Yes, he ended up with 9. He got an ace tanker in that game. Yes, he finally got the ace. Did well enough in this one. He also managed to get a demolition expert for blowing up that T67. A bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 29 in this one. He got the Radley Walters medal, the epic medal, for getting at least 8 kills. He ended up with 9, just 1 short of getting a pulse medal. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He ended up with quite a bit more than that. His win rate was much higher, 14,015. Just goes to show that the more damage you do, the higher the win rate goes. And he certainly was having a good time in this game. Let's have a look at team score. 2,699 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was that VK3001H, who actually got a shot at him. 1,738 hit points to him, followed by the Panzer III-4 on his own team with 1,391. The BDR, by the way, he got a steel wall in that game, so he survived enough damage thrown in his direction. When it came to kills, it was ProvoBob again with 9 kills. 4 kills went to the T28, that was a good player, and 3 kills went to the VK3001H, and 2 kills went to the M5 Stuart and the BDR. When it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,304, enough for an ace tanker. 707 went to the looks, and 634 went to the BDR. In this game, he fired 39 rounds, so he actually had 11 rounds spare at the end, 5 of which were heat rounds. 16 direct hits, 8 penetrations, a lot more penetrations. I think that's because the targets he was hitting, he was actually getting direct hits which were actually counting. 13 splash damage, 2,699 hit points, of which 2,572 were at more than 300 meters, so there was some close range shots in this game. He received 1 hit, it was a penetration, that was from the VK3001H. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 12 of the enemy, killed 9, and did 94 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 55,959 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 50,563 credits. He received 1,956 XP, 782 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,738 experience points altogether. He was much better in this game. He did let some of the shots dial in, and they worked. Admittedly, he did fire quite a few rounds which he shouldn't have fired, because after all, they weren't. He was just guessing where the enemy was, and it wasn't that they were a bad guess, it's just that he wasn't thinking about the amount of lead he needed to put on the target, and consequently he didn't hit the target at all. But he did get the number of kills that he needed in order to win the game. 9 kills, you can't knock that. That's a very good score. And he did get a very high win rate, which proves that he is learning something. It's just I wish he would take it in more often and let the aim dial in before he lets loose on the shell so he can get more hits. I'm certain that he can get a Pools medal eventually if he lets it settle on the target before he fires. It also helps if you find the right targets to fire at. As I keep saying, you know, if you've got a stationary target and you've got a target that's moving about a lot, go for the stationary one, because it's a lot easier to hit the one that's having to sit still in order to shoot. That's why we aim for Arty, because if we see an Arty, we know it's going to be stationary while he's shooting, so it's an easy shot. But if you've got a choice between 2 targets, pick the one that's the least likely to move, and you're much more likely to hit it. That is something that I do, for a maxim I do follow myself. So I hope you enjoyed all 3 replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.